Sean Sewell with Engearment.com podcast. And today's episode is really going to be kind of fun because it's a unique venture from our typical podcast. On today's show, we have Chris and Ted from onX Off-Road app. And this app is something I've been using for about the last 3 weeks to find camping spots and off-road trails for myself. And a lot of the Engearment team have been using it too. So to get their point of view, how they create it, the history of onX with their Hunt app as well, it's going to be a lot of fun. So guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much.
Great to be here.
My pleasure. So what is onX?
Yeah, well, onX at its core is a GPS app. So it enables, we were in the hunting market and we're now in the off-road market. And basically, for the most part, if I can wrap it up into one sentence, it's empowering you to explore outdoors with confidence. Whether you're a hunter, or into motorsports as we are, going out with confidence, being able to have the data in the palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like that. That's a good summary. And before we push record, I was mentioning that I have a lot of bow hunter friends that I train, and they love the app. They swear by it. And so when this came on the radar for the off-road, I was like, that speaks to a lot of the people I know, people going out camping of different levels. And like we were talking about earlier, I found this app to be very empowering. So I can recommend to my friends who might have like a MDX, like here's a place you can go camp with the family, right? And the other people might have like a 4Runner or Jeep, and like you can go a little bit further and crazier. And it kind of, we'll get into this, I'm sure, but the app is very user friendly.
Yeah, thanks. And we really, we pride ourselves on making it very as user friendly as we can. For anyone who has the MDX or the Subaru that's just going to go for a rip down a fire road and something that's a full width, easy going gravel and find an amazing campsite, all the way to the high clearance, crazy rock crawler guys that are going into Moab and beyond that can go dang near anywhere. We're showcasing all types of trails.
That's awesome. And case in point, my friend has an MDX and two boys, and he used the app to find a camp spot this weekend. So it worked.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we've with onX, we started out in the hunt category, and our founder just realized there really wasn't enough information about where to hunt, how to find his way around, and so they started out. We're going on 11 years, and started with building all the information for a chip-based that you can plug into any device, and then evolved, of course, because you have the technology in your pocket, evolved, of course, to an app. And then with the off-road product, the Hunt product is our big brother sister. And we started a little over about a year ago and launched our Android product and then eventually the iOS product, and really focusing on the off-road, motorized off-road space, taking the learnings from our Hunt partners and focusing in on roads and trail information and everything that you might need in that space, campsites, ride types, trail difficulty, all kinds of things like that. And we'll show you here, but, so we have a long history in the space and it's been great to launch into the off-road zone.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Way to use your 11 years of experience and apply it to a different demographic that's still going outdoors and utilizing what you guys do. And, as we're going to go into here in a moment, you can categorize by the vehicle type, the level, and then also I really like there's pictures of the areas oftentimes, so you can know what to look for when you do show up. Like, oh, that is the right place.
Yeah, we wanted to provide people with as much information as possible so that they can really get an idea of where they're going. It's so hard to plan a trip. You have such a limited time usually on the outdoors. You get out for the weekend. Mm-hmm. It can be super disappointing to say, all right, like I'm going to go out to this region, but you don't really find any good trails. You don't find the experience you're looking for. And our app basically gives you all of that ahead of time, everything from weather to photos to trail descriptions, so that when you're leaving on a Friday afternoon, that when you get out there, you're going to love it.
I forgot about the weather part. That's super helpful. Yeah. It's a very good point. I mean, how many times have I gone out prior to this app and other resources, gone out and been shut down? Very often.
Yep.
Yeah, and our app will also show like Chris was kind of there is our trails will either be blue or green, or if it's red for closed often for the season, sometimes forever, but they'll switch to red during that season, so you don't run into that closed gate. We've all been there, and that sucks.
It does. I usually am camping at the gate.
Yeah,
and you watch everybody else show up and like, can we camp with you? And it becomes a party.
Right.
But no, it's true. I actually, over the course of 3 weeks of using the app, I've watched some passes here in Colorado turn from red to green or blue. So yeah, it makes sense.
It's working.
It's working. Yeah, for sure.
Well, if you want, I can pull up my screen and kind of walk you through the web map.
That would be fantastic.
All right.
Let's
so
do that.
I'll share my screen here. You guys got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what we're looking at here, and I'll zoom out a little bit on the map, is this is our web map. So you can go to onxmaps.com and use your login to get here. And what the web map does is it emulates anything for the most part of what will be in your pocket on your phone or tablet. And the web map does a great job of, it's just, you can use it for a bigger screen for planning. And here we are in the kind of Moab area. And what I've done is you zoom in on these trails here. You're looking at blue and green trails, and these are open, ready to go trails. And up here in the upper left, you'll see a little red trail. That one's still closed. Mm-hmm. But I've tapped on this white rim trail, and what Chris and his crew have done is we've imported a ton of great information into this trail. And Chris, I'll let you talk through it and I'll kind of guide you.
Yeah, basically we want to give people as close to a guidebook level of information as possible, right? To guarantee that experience for them and let them evaluate if this is something they want to tackle. So the White Rim Trail is going to give you how long it's going to take to do that trail, how long it is. It'll give you the technical and difficulty ratings, which you can find the definition of those online. We define them not by the type of vehicle you need, but by the difficulty of the obstacles, how tall the ledges are, how off camber you might get, and let you make the decision of how comfortable you are with that. We also include pictures so that you know what the area is going to look like. And then obviously the description that tells you what it's going to be when you get there. We don't want anybody to get into anything they don't want to be in. And this definitely helps guide you in that direction.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
A little bit more about what Chris was talking about, the difficulty, some descriptions, technical ratings. So yeah, we're super stoked on these featured trails. They add a lot of value and always fun to run one. So other parts of the map here, if you look at the bottom right, we can, this is kind of a user ease of use here, is like you can simply toggle between topographic map, a hybrid of satellite and topo, and then pure satellite. And let me zoom in here a little bit on the hybrid. You'll start to see it's a little bit flat in this zone, but you will see topo lines. So, and any questions there?
It's worth noting that, we have these three base maps, right? The topo map, the hybrid map, the satellite map, but they're not just single map layers. So what you'll see in a lot of other apps is that you have, 50, 100, 200 different map layers, right? For the average user who just wants to pull up a map on their phone and go explore for the weekend, that can be pretty difficult to sort through. So what we've done is taken a lot of the legwork out. We've gone through with our teams and said, all right, what are the most valuable things for our users, right? Campgrounds, as Ted is showing you on the map right now, fishing access spots, trails, any kind of information like that. And we've stacked those layers into our base maps. So instead of having to download maybe 50 layers to put into what we have on the map right now, they're already there, ready to go, combined so they don't get messy, and you can just download all of them right off the bat.
That's great. I didn't realize I had the camp feature right there.
Yeah. There, Chris, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are thousands of these rec points. So here's a little tent like we were showing here. If you find these tents all over, you'll find here's a boat launch down here. There's thousands of these brown rec points all over the map. Here's even a climbing zone. There's really
I've done that rim. Yeah, that was a fun bike ride.
Yeah.
There's we've been able to find some really great waterfalls in the backcountry of Montana that weren't on any other map, and be able to find trails that lead to them just by opening up and scrolling through. The campsites, and it depends on which campsites they are, but a lot of them are linked so that if you click on the campsite and you want to check it out, you can actually click the link through that app and book right through the reservation system.
Exactly.
Oh, my mind's blown. We're actually going on a 14-day road trip next week, driving out to Ohio, and I was hoping to just camp. I'm like, how am I going to find camping spots? Well, I'll just use the app.
There you go.
There it is. Wow. Super awesome.
Beyond just campsites and trail information, I want to highlight this little ride selector. Yeah. And basically what you can do, same as on your app on your phone, is you can turn certain trails on and off. So I'll turn off this dirt bike trail. And so if you don't want to see certain types of trails, we can turn them off. We have the capability to turn them off. And the dirt bike trail, this is a single track, and if you're on in a Subaru or a MDX, you certainly don't want to go down a dirt bike trail. So no. That's just another feature that you have on the web map and as well as in your pocket. So other things, of course, you can do is drop waypoints and share these waypoints. With the web map, you can send an email or copy the link and text that to a friend, and as well with the normal app. So you can say, hey, I'm going to be here for the weekends just for a safety thing, which is a big feature, letting your loved ones know where you're going to be. And then also, like, there's no more waiting at the gas station for your buddies to show up. You can just say, hey, here's where we're going to camp. Let's go, and share that waypoint, and you guys can meet there. So very helpful.
Yep. And then the other thing that's worth noting too is that you can share one account between the web map, your phone, and your tablet. So any changes you make on any of the systems, any trails you add, any routes you record, all of those sync automatically. So as soon as you have an internet connection, all of your devices are going to sync across the platforms to make sure that you don't lose any information.
That's great.
The other big thing that's really beneficial is, and it's kind of a distinguishing factor for onX, is we make it really easy to discover new trails. So if you look at some of our competitors, for example, on their base maps, and you scroll over to Moab, you will just see the basic maps with, you'll have roads and things listed on there, but you don't really know what the trails are. It's hard to tell where they are. With onX, when you pull up the base map, you can see all of those highlights right off the bat. So even if you haven't picked a trail and you have no idea where you want to go, you can see what regions are filled with trail data so that you can say, okay, this is a hotspot that I want to check out. There's a lot of stuff I can run over here, a lot of places to explore, and you can pinpoint those all across the US and make a road trip out of it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wow.
I guess one other feature that Chris has been kind of talking about a bit here is that what we love about showing all these thousands of trail miles is it helps disperse everybody.
Good point.
No longer are you just only running the main trails. You automatically see this map just full of green open trails to discover. So it's kind of endless, in some ways.
That's a very good point. A lot of people just go to their favorite or known trails, and they just go there, and it keeps getting busier, especially here in Colorado, where population just keeps growing. Every time I go out to my favorite spots, it's not become half dozen other people's favorite spots. So it'd be nice to explore a little bit more.
Totally.
Yeah, one of our big concerns and, the problem with social media today is that people are concerned with the oversharing of trails, right? Mm-hmm. There are definitely certain hotspots that somebody, it makes for a great photo, or somebody shares it online and it just gets reshared over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So, we joke that the Mojave Road has now become the Mojave Highway. And that used to be like a pretty challenging route, but it is packed now. And so, we're adding in, for example, a system of trails called the East Mojave Heritage Trail, which is 660 miles of not new trail, but existing trail in the Mojave Desert that we're linking together and adding onto the map. A good friend of mine, Bill Creech, actually spearheaded remapping all of that. And he's partnered with the BLM and the National Forest Service to actually put that on their maps now. Because of the fact that it's going to help alleviate traffic in the Mojave Road area and disperse the impact and allow all the trails to stay open and decrease any damage on the environment that's happening. So we're trying to, take that same system across other parts of the country and say, you don't have to just run this one route. We can disperse the load. Everybody can get out and enjoy the area and recreate without causing any damage to the land.
Oh, that's great. That's truly a win-win. That's awesome.
There's also a fun feature in the app that you can turn on that is called Secret Spot. And the Secret Spot basically just takes off the coordinates. If you drop a waypoint, if you drop a waypoint, save it, you can, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but you can share it, but it won't share the actual coordinates. So you can't keep spreading that if you don't want to. So it's kind of a fun feature.
Right. Yeah, we limit sharing. So if Ted shares a waypoint to me and I don't want it to be shared publicly, he's not allowed to reshare that waypoint. Or if he shares a track to me, I'm not allowed to reshare his track. Of course, if he wants me to be able to send it to other people, he can offload it and send it as a GPX file or a KML file, which works. But we wanted to give users control of their data. We don't want to harvest it. We don't want it to be publicly shared everywhere. If you map your favorite spot on the app, you have complete control of how far that goes.
That's great. That's super cool. But you guys have thought about a lot of different angles with this. It's very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah. And I appreciate you letting us test it out the last 3 weeks. I've been using it. I think 5 or 6 of our riders and their families have been using it. And one of the guys this morning checked in. He's like, I'm going to go do a test with it. He's got a TRD. He's got a roof nest tent. Him and his wife and dog are going out and just relying on the app alone, going out. So
awesome.
It'd be cool to hear his feedback.
Definitely. No, but that's what it's all about. It's just getting out, enjoying the nature, enjoying new trails and back roads and discovering new places. Right. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys did a fantastic job describing that. And for the viewers, you've got a plethora of information of how this app works and how intuitive it is. And if I can do it, you guys can do it. I'm not tech savvy. So,
yeah, I'd say, the number one thing to have a great time with onX and out there is just make sure you download the maps to your device before you head out. And simply, if you do that, if you say, okay, I know I'm going to go to, we were just looking at like the Crater Lake area. I know I'm going to go to this zone. I don't know if I'm going to have service. So make sure you download that zone, and it's offline maps when you're on the app. If you do that, like, it's going to work great, and you should have a good time. So that's like make sure you do this before you head out.
That's good advice. Yeah, I feel bad for the person who showed up with no cell service and didn't download the map. Yeah, rough.
So once you download it, you have all the capabilities. You have all the trail information of that area. You've got the topo maps, hybrid and satellite views. So
wonderful. And so where does a person go to pick this up?
You can go to either your Google Play Store or your Apple App Store.
Wonderful.
We've got a 7-day free trial.
Excellent.
So create an account, set up the account, give it a run for 7 days, and after that, it's $29.99 for all 50 states, and including getting down into Baja, Mexico. So
yeah, it's $29.99 a year, not a month.
Oh, did I say? Oh, sorry, a year.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bargain then, for sure. And Baja, cool. I know a lot of people. I used to have a dune buggy. I would love to get down there. Sweet. Well, Ted and Chris, is there anything else you want to leave the listeners with or the viewers with?
Yeah, I've got one critical thing coming up. Actually, starting in a couple hours, our July 4th of July 30% off sale.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
this is perfectly timely.
Yes.
So you can use the code, navigate to our website and use the code. The code is July 4x4. So go
July
for it. Give it a run.
4x4.
4x4.
Cool. I'll put that in the show notes and get this live like in 20 minutes.
Awesome.
Oh, wonderful. And listeners and viewers, I've been using this. I have screenshots, and my colleagues were doing a detailed write-up of our experience with it, and it's been a great experience. So I would jump on that sale and get it for what, $20 then?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. Yeah. That's where it's at. Nice. All right. Well, Chris and Ted, thank you for your time. Much appreciated. Always a joy talking with you guys about our adventures offline and stuff. And to you listeners out there, jump on this. I have a link to get the onX off-road for $20 right now. So jump on it.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, guys. Take care.